Season 4 of the CBS competition show Tough as Nails is in full swing. The nation's best essential workers go head-to-head to test their life skills at a real job site. On tonight's episode, the contestants are sent to a tree nursery where attention to detail is key.
Already on their way to start picking up trees. They got to get a total of 40 trees.
We're still on 502. So
look for the red tags that say dirty hands.
We're out and about searching. It's like an Easter egg hunt for trees. I mean, the place is massive, you know? It's like football fields of trees.
Joining me now is the host and showrunner of Tough as Nails, Phil Kogan. Great to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for allowing us to talk about Tough as Nails. We're very proud of the show, and it's a show that celebrates the people who keep our country running every single day. And tonight we're going to be out in a nursery, as you saw there in the clip, filling out an order of picking up trees. Just so happened that there was a massive storm going on the day that we were shooting, but that will not stop the Tough as Nails contestants. They'll work in whatever weather to get the job done. And a good example of that happens tonight.
Well, Phil, one of the things I love is that these are real jobs that need to get done. So once they are finished, you know, somebody actually does benefit. We have two contestants from the tri-state area on the show. We have, Synethia Bland is a carpenter from Roselle, New Jersey, and Ellery Liebert is a firefighter from the Bronx. Is there anything you can tease about their performances this season?
Has a really wonderful story. It's a story of new beginnings. And you know, Synethia was arrested for bank fraud and served some time. And she has come on the show and she wants to prove, as she says, that your past does not determine your future. So this is a young woman who got off to a rough start, but she's turned her life around, joined the Carpenters Union. And I mean, as soon as you meet Synethia, you can't help but smile. She's just this warm, wonderful, hardworking young apprentice carpenter. And we've got her on the show because it's not just about the physical part, it's about the mental part of it. And she's really tough. And she wants to prove to her daughter that she can turn her life around. And then with Ellery is somebody who served in the military for decades, served overseas to serve our country, and is now a New York firefighter. And he's, again, somebody who is so essential to our everyday lives, somebody who's prepared to run into a burning building to save our lives. And what can you say about that? I mean, it's somebody who's prepared to do that every day. They just don't know whether it's going to be the day that they have to run in and into the flames and save somebody else's life. So huge admiration for both of them, and two very important stories that I think need to be on television. You know, we need to celebrate people like Synethia and Ellery for who they are, what they represent, and to inspire other young boys and girls, and inspire young people to think about doing something for others, not just for themselves. And Synethia and Ellery, you know, they epitomize that. They represent that.
No, I really agree. And the other thing I really love about the show, it is about teamwork. It's not one of those reality shows where people are stabbing each other in the back and bad talking. It's really a wonderful show. You not only host, but executive produce Tough as Nails. So how did you come up with the idea?
Well, it was really inspired by my grandfather, who was a mechanic, an aero mechanic in World War II. My other grandfather was a carpenter, and neither got a chance to go to get a higher education, and they worked in the trades and they were really good at what they did. And over the years, it just sort of irked me that some people in the trades were sort of looked down upon, like somehow they weren't as good as somebody else who maybe had a degree. And listen, I love education. I think education is power. But sometimes education can come in a different form, and people who are really good at building things, and a really good plumber or a really good tiler, or somebody who goes out to make sure that the power is on in a storm, get the power going. People have real life skills. That they're also educated people. They're people with life skills, and those people are important. So education doesn't just come from an institution. It doesn't just come from a building. It's not just a piece of paper. It can also be someone who has life skills that are essential to our day-to-day life. So I just hated that my grandfather is one of the most well-read, smartest people I've ever met in my life, that anybody would look down on him. ever, because he didn't have a degree. He had degrees in life experience and taught me so much. And so it is really just a celebration of people in the trades, the best of the best in their chosen trades, and a chance to put a spotlight on people that I think have been a little forgotten for too long. And to say to young people who are maybe thinking about what are they going to do in life, hey, here's a really great career that you can have and make a good living and have real pride in your work.
Well, Phil, thank you so much, and your grandfather would be very proud. We appreciate your time. You can catch Tough as Nails tonight at 10 o'clock right here on CBS 2.